Hey guys, what is up? My name is Sunny Dragon, and I'm back with another one of these set ideas for Draft League Mons. You guys semi-enjoyed the Landers Therian one I had, mostly just because it was too long. People don't like it. But overall, the reviews were good, so I was like, might as well continue on with this. And I'm going to start this series off officially with my personal favorite tier 1 uh, draft mon, that being Torn T. So, what you have to know about Tornadus, as you can see by the stats, really great speed tier, pretty good attack and special attack. I mean, base 100, it's very good, and your defense aren't terrible either. You're very usable, especially the 90 special defense. And one thing that makes Tornadus very good, in my opinion, is Regenerator. Regenerator plus fast speed and U-turn, you basically have a great core in one mon right there. This way you can pivot really fast as well as get health back, so you can easily go with a lot of different sets, a lot of different items as well because of the regeneration and the U-turn. So like you could easily go with a Assault Vest, tank those hits, look for certain moves. You can go a choice specs or choice band if you're physical or special set or mixed set. You can go with leftovers. That's my personal favorite set. That's how I normally run mine. You can go life orb if you want to go offensive. I've run once a Rocky Helmet set. It works. Berries all work. Also, if you really want to be that guy or girl and you really want to throw off your opponent, I'd recommend a Choice Scarf, especially if it beats their Choice Scarf as well. That's Tornadus in a nutshell. The number one most important move on a Tornadus, and I feel like will always be on Tornadus no matter what, will be this move, U-turn. Because it's such a great move in general. Like, you kind of want to have momentum, and especially if you expect your opponent to switch out and you grab a U-turn or a Volt Switch, momentum gaining really helps when matches I've seen. And when you couple it with the fast speed of Tornadus and the ability, you can really just kind of come in, take a hit, check what's going on, or sit there with a life orb and just hammer away, and then swap out when the situation's not good, because it's like, oh, here comes Ferrothorn to tank the knockoff. Okay, I'm taking Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage. I'm going to do it again with U-turn, and all the damage you just taken from the Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet, you gain back from Regenerator. So I feel like that's number one, the best move on Tornadus. Here's a pretty standard set that I feel like is 90% of what's going to be run that I've seen with my usage of it in any draft league. You're always going to have U-turn for that momentum. You probably want to always run knockoff, and with a speed, it works very well because you can hit Mons' items off before they even get a chance to use it. And coupled with a U-turn, you're being a really good support. You knock off the item, and then you swap the next turn, gaining all the health back and making it all back. Then you have your really strong stab move being Hurricane 110 with a 30% chance to confuse, coupled with a 110 special attack. That's really powerful. If you don't really want the Hurricane because you're afraid of the missing, Air Slash is a really good substitute. 75 is not terrible. Could be worse. And 30% chance to flinch. That just makes you a little bit more support. So if you really want to go full support, you have moves like this. And this be a somewhat standard support. You can go, I can't spell leftovers. And I don't know, I just made this up, but this is a really decent defensive support set. Got your knock of your U-turn, that pair works really well. Got your regenerator and your leftovers for sustainability. You got your defog to get rid of hazard for the rest of your team. And while Tornadus is weak to rocks, it's not affected by spikes at all because of the flying type. And any damage you are taking from rocks and areas anyways, you're getting it all back with the regenerator, so it's fine. And then Tailwind works very well with the U-turn and the speed, because then you're faster, you get a U-turn, and that way you don't have to deal with getting hit with anything. And then you get your regenerator, and you can Tailwind again in the future. So that's a set that I just made up right now. I don't know why I didn't talk about it later in the video, but this is one way to run a Tornadus. Also, you can go fully offensive, you can go mix. Very versatile. I always find these two moves, though, always on my Tornadus. 90% of the time I have these two moves, 100% I'll always have a U-turn. No matter what happens, I'll have a U-turn. But that's just me. It works really well. There's no reason not to run U-turn unless you need the coverage of all 4 moves, or you need 3 coverage moves as well as a support move like Taunt or Toxic. Most of the time, you're always and should run U-turn. So I already talked about air slash, why it's important. Crunch and Dark Pulse, depending on what kind of set you're going. If you're going mixed, you go Dark Pulse. If you're going fully offensive on the physical side, you go with Crunch. Really strong base 80 plus with 100s and 110s attacks. You're hitting really hard with Crunch on it if it's a super effective move. And you can get the flinch or the defense drop if you need to, and it helps you, but it is what it is hacks wise. But they're really good dark type moves to have, and on a pure flying type who has weaknesses, it's pretty good. And in draft league, you're gonna be facing, you might be facing something like Aladios. You outspeed it, you get a Crunch or Dark Pulse off depending on your set, and then the next turn you take a hit. You can definitely live a Draco, even if it's specs. If you're going Assault Vest, the next turn you just click U-turn, and I think 90% of the time you kill it, unless it's like, I don't know, max HP, max defense, citrus or something. I don't know, but really good strong dark type attacks. You also have extra sensory base 80, which is really nice if you want that psychic coverage, or if you, where did I put it? There it is. Or you can go with psychic. Next, you have your fighting type coverage and focus blast. You also have superpower and hammer arm. Focus blast is normally the way to go since you're going to be running special because of the hurricane. You kind of just want to boost that hurricane up, and you go with focus blast, which is really great if you hit it. It sucks if you don't, but it is there. Another dark type move you have is foul play. This is really for like a setup deter, and you know you're gonna have an intimidate mon, and then they're gonna have, I don't know why I said intimidate, my bad. I'm thinking of Salamence with Dragon Dance, but I said intimidate instead. Something like a Dragon Dance or a Swords Dance. You foul play, you do more damage, you can potentially knock them out in one shot. For something like Swampert or Gastrodon or any grass type, you have Grass Knot. Fairies, you have Iron Tail. Heat Wave for other steel types if you don't want to go Focus Blast, or grass types if you don't for some reason you don't want to use Hurricane, or if you don't have it, you have Heat Wave. really good move for Ferrothorn. You have hidden powers as well. HP Ice is really good. HP Steel if you're going up against like a Mega Diancie, you outspeed. And without any special attack investment at all, you have a 98.7% chance to Oko Mega Diancie with 4 HP, and that's it. I already mentioned Psychic. You also have Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb for those other fairy types as well. Then you also have Icy Wind for support. You have Taunt, Superpower, which is a really good fighting type move. And you also have Tailwind, like I already mentioned before. You also have Defog, if you want to go Defog, but it's a meh move, I feel like, on a Tornadus. You can definitely go with better moves than Defog unless you really need it. Because of Tornadus, a standard Tornadus has this type of setup, and I don't know, let's just throw in a random, let's just say this is your set for some reason. It's perfectly okay to go whatever speed you need, max attack. It's okay to go something like this. Or if you really need it, just a little bit of special attack. And the good thing about Tornadus, it has a really good special attack already, and Hurricane already hits as like a truck already. So you don't really need the special attack investment, but it's helpful. But you don't really need it, and that just gives you a lot more versatility. And for your other moves, especially if they're physical and you're going with a mix set like this set is. So I feel like it has everything it needs. It kind of covers itself in its weaknesses as well. Like for those rock types, you have superpower, and for those electric types, well, you have an HP ground, I guess. But if something, I don't know why I had a slot. I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. Ice types, you have also superpower. You have Iron Tail. You have ways to hit your weaknesses, and it's not like Tornadus on its team. It's a very good support mon. It's a very good offensive attacker, as well as a bulky attacker as well, depending on what kind of set you need. Kind of like Torrent-T. Not Torrent-T. Landorus Therian, Lando T. Very versatile. Does its job very well. And I feel like it's a very good tier 1 pick. I know normally it's not really picked up as often as the other tier 1s, but I feel like you can go very far with Tornadus, especially if you have a team that likes the super strong flying type coverage that this has, along with other capabilities. Assault Vest, Torn-T with max attack, a good amount of defense, and a lot of speed. You can sit there all day and you can just clean house, both defensively and offensively, so it works great. So that's Tornadus. Like I said before, it's my favorite draft league mon from tier 1. I've had a lot of success with this. I've made it to two different playoffs with Tornadus when it was on my team. Every single time I've had it, I've drafted it, I've managed to make it to playoffs. One was semifinals, one was the finals match, so it's definitely worked well for me, and I feel like it can work for anyone if they need it, or if they have a good team around it. Just like any mon, Tornadus can sweep games. I feel like it's really underrated tier 1 mon, but it does the job very well. Other than that, hope you guys have a good day, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.